plant your feet, how you turn your shoulder, and it's all about that timing when you're not a gifted, God-given puncher.
Right.
When you hear what you hear about this young man said about you, that you're good, but you're not a puncher, how do you respond?
Well, you know, my style of fighting, I'm more of a throwback fighter. I like attacking the body. I'm not a big, heavy puncher as well. But, you know, everything comes off working those angles, getting inside, cutting the ring off, scoring your points, and getting the victory.
Henry, do you think he's a good puncher? Because it's obvious he's a good boxer.
He can work on his punching power. You know, a lot of youths today, they get into the weightlifting, man, and, you know what I mean, the weights is what help get them the power.
Is the weights going to take away from his speed, though? That becomes the question.
I kind of feel a little. I think the pull-ups and the dips are a little better than the weightlifting. I believe it gives you more power when you're lifting your own body weight and staying away from the heavy lifting.
Let's go up to our ring announcer, Paul Shield, with the winner of this fight.
Here we are, boxing fans, after 3 action-packed rounds. Your winner, he fights out of the red corner, Gabriel Hawkins.
Wow.
But y'all don't think it was close?
Huh?
Y'all don't think it was close? I thought it was close.
You thought it was a close? Go ahead, tell me why.
I thought it was close. I thought it was.
I thought Ariel had the more crispy, landed the way better punches. I don't believe he won it.
You know, I thought it was close.
Well, you have to give credit where credit is
right
due. Hawkins was right there. I think sometimes when you're judging a pro fight and an amateur fight, Love's style is probably more suited for the pros right now.
Pro level.
And there were times in which he should have taken advantage of Hawkins' mistakes, but he didn't. And that activity that Hawkins did give, even though I thought, in my humble opinion, I thought Love won that fight, I have to give credit where credit is due. Hawkins remained moving forward. And volume of punches, because volume of punches is so important in the amateur ranks, he did have a tremendous volume of punches. However, the punches I saw that were landed by Love were the cleaner, the crisper punches. That's where I stand. I would give the fight to Love, but I'm not going to have a lot of objection with the amateur rules of Hawkins winning.
I agree. I thought Love had the more crispier, landed the more precise punches, but this is amateur boxing. You got to give the respect to the other man on the other side, and he worked. So you know, more power to the man. I think good win for him. Good win to have a guy as far as Ariel Love under your belt.
I tell you what, says a lot. A guy who was one time ranked 3rd in the country, and you beat him. I mean, the odds were stacked against Hawkins coming in.
It was close to me. It was a close fight. Hawkins was right there. He was right there. And if I had to give the edge was to Love, but Hawkins was right there. If it went to him, I wasn't surprised.
Stop. It's illegal to sweep yard debris into a catch basin. It causes water pollution and sewer backup. Instead, use biodegradable bags or redistribute lawn and leaf clippings for fertilizer. If you see someone dumping waste into catch basins, report it immediately. Call 216-664-DUMP. Remember, only rain down the storm drain.
Once again, we're back here with the best of the best in boxing series, King and Queens of the Ring All-Star Championship. We have had some outstanding fights, but have you ever seen a cheerleader become a boxer?
Yeah.
Well, that is the story of TAMERA Guthridge of the Empire Boxing Club. She will be coming to you in the red corner. She was a former cheerleader. She said, I played all sports. Her favorite athlete is Manny Pacquiao. And of course, she is a college student, and she's a left-hander. She's 4-0 with 1 referee stops the contest. And she says her other favorite fighter was a lefty by the name of Tiger Flame. Knows a little bit about the history of boxing. 23 years of age. She's going to be talking on AHARA Archie of the Zelma George Recreation Boxing Center from Cleveland, Ohio. This is Michigan taking on Ohio. Ain't a lot of love lost between Michigan and Ohio, as Woody Hayes would say, that team up north. But the Scarlet and Gray will tell you, you can always tell a Michigan fan from an Ohio State fan.
Uh-oh.
The reason why?
Why?
They can count 10 out of 11 times. Ohio State has been all up in it.
Oh, man.
Ronnie Duncan here with you, with my good friends, WILKEN, Santiago, who wants to leave and not be associated with me anymore, and Henry Hughes. And we're coming to you from the Civic Conference and Event Center. Let's go up to Paul Schill, who happens to be our ring announcer, and he'll give us the thrill because he's the Schill. You better be ready. We're saying to himself, I'm not ready.
Michigan and Ohio.
But these two young ladies are ready to fight. You know, the young man who happens to be the trainer for a lot of the fighters and the female fighters out of Detroit, his name is Dave Rosa. He's 47 years old, a former kickboxer and boxer. He has the most respect of these young ladies. They're all from Puerto Rico, but there's something about their relationship. I mean, he's able to get these young women when they're like in their 20s, and he's turned them into amateur fighters. And they will tell you, I'm not a fan of anybody's. I just want to see some good fighting, and I'm a good fighter. And I think he has them believing more of themselves than what someone else did, but what you can do. Let's go to Paul Schill, who's ready.
Here we are, fight fans. Our next bout of the evening is in the 123-pound division. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, representing the Empire Boxing Club. She is from Detroit, Michigan, TAMERA GUTHRIDGE. And her opponent fights out of the blue corner, representing the Zelma George Recreation Center. Please welcome AHARA Archie.
You know, guys, a lot has changed in our lifetime where we have women who are boxing now. And we can talk about the likes of Layla Ali, or we can talk Christy Martin, you know. But do you remember the first time you saw a young lady put on the boxing glove and go in the ring? I mean, I live now in Flint, Michigan. One of the biggest names ever in the history of amateur boxing is the two-time Olympian right now, Clarissa Shields, a middleweight. What do you think about the art or the growth of women's boxing in the amateurs as well as the pros?
I think it has grown. I welcome it. I first saw it was in 1978. It was a young lady who was training in Cleveland. And it was kind of, it was the first time I saw it. And it was the lady, she used to come to the gym and she would train, and our trainer would let her spar with her and all that. So from there, that was the first time I saw a lady, about 1978.
Well, because you're a younger fighter, it's more of a norm to see young women in the gym.
Right.
I can imagine as someone who trains athletes, you train some female boxers. What is it like, and were you apprehensive at first at all?
Oh, definitely not. These women, they got two hands just like us. They have hearts like us, and you find some women nowadays that got better styles than men do, you know. But it's boxing. We welcome it. We welcome to the sport with open arms. Just like you mentioned, Christy Martin, one of my favorite female fighters growing up. I remember watching her as a kid, and I used to say to myself, man, this woman can hit. You know, so I watched female boxing grow spectacularly, man, and it's a good thing to have them in the sport of boxing.
I think sometimes when you look at female boxing and you see a fighter like an Ann Wolfe, who totally annihilated Vonda Ward out of Cleveland, Ohio, in one round. Vonda Ward 6'6", Ann Wolfe 5'10". And where overall skill was the major factor in that fight. And right now we see skill taking over will, because the more polished boxer appears to be Guthridge out of Detroit. Look at some of the punches and how Archie throws some of her punches. Archie doesn't throw many of her punches as seasoned as you would have in the young lady 4-0 with one referee stop contest, TAMERA Guthridge.
Detroit's always been a big city for tough fighters. I fought a lot of fighters out of Detroit, and some of my times in my big tournaments, such as the Silver Glove Junior Olympic Nationals, some of my matches were some of Detroit's best. And Crunk Gym was one of the main gyms. I fought some of the great fighters out of there.
Well, another fighter that many of Dave's fighters talked about was Lucia Riker, who used to train in Detroit with the late Emmanuel Story. So it is not an unfamiliar sight to see women in the ring, but when you see how women have taken this craft to another higher level, and I think either you or Henry said it, some of them fight with a better skill than some of the men because they haven't developed any bad habits. They're learning how to really fight for the very first time. So when you teach someone the orthodox style, when you teach someone the do's and don'ts of fighting, and then you see them orchestrated in the ring, then you know they're good students of the game.
Exactly.
Would you say Archie is slapping with her punches?
Yeah, she's coming wild. She throws shots with her head down, not really looking at her opponent, so the shots ain't landing right. Guthridge's putting the pressure on her now.
Tell you what, Archie is getting aggressive. And even though she's slapping with her punches, she's got that will to say, you want to fight? Let's fight. We can do this. You want to do this? Then let's step to this.
Like
and let's get it done.
Sometimes you see the women with more heart than the guys in there.
Neither one of the fighters offering much movement. I mean, I'm there for you to punch. All you got to do is throw something. This is when the art of straight punches really plays a role. And what I see right now with Guthridge is that she hasn't figured out the angles. How do I get inside the taller fighter? See how off balance that time Archie was?
Yep.
Feet out of position. A smarter fighter. Nice left hand that time.
She's trying to figure out a southpaw as well.
But see, she's got to continue.
Exactly.
Instead of going backwards, she's got to move forward. She should not be the fighter circling. She should be the fighter moving, but she hasn't figured out how do I fight a taller fighter.
Got to get inside. You got to cut their arms off. Obviously, they got long arms. You got to get
inside. And the best way to do that is not through an overhand right, but through the jab. Yep. You jab your way inside. That's how you cut off the distance.
They both are showing signs of fatigue. The pace is slowed up big time.
Sure, if Dave Rosa had a chance in between rounds, he's going to tell his fighter, Guthridge, to step inside.
Another left hand.
Yeah, become the aggressor. She needs to become the aggressor.
As a reminder, there will be a 15-minute intermission right after this bout. Shortly thereafter that, the rest of the evening, we have 4 remaining bouts.
What do you think? We're getting ready to go into round number 3. How do you have it?
Close fight. I got to say blue corner on top. Nice punches, nice straight right hand. She's swinging wild, missing a lot of stuff. Nice jab, nice little small over the top. Good exchange of punches.
There's Dave right there, who happens to be the trainer. Dave Rosa, former kickboxer and boxer. And he says, these girls came into my gym and they wanted to fight. And if they want to fight, they've got a right to fight. I'm going to teach them. And there, of course, is Archie. AHARA Archie.
Last round is a very important round right here. Nice over the top left hand. She got to start moving her head a little more, get inside. She's jabbing, but she's jabbing backwards, so she's not actually making contact.
She got underneath that punch, but she should have came right back with her left hand.
Exactly.
And she didn't know how to do it. But those are the learning stages of fighting.
Exactly. Good right hand.
And a good right hand that time by Archie, and the reason why, she's long, and she's using her reach. She's using her physical tools toward her advantage. But she can't be slapping.
It's a very important round. Whoever comes out here, I believe, could steal this fight.
It's about activity.
Exactly.
And neither fighter is extremely active because they're being cautious.
Nice right hook with a left hand over the top. Another left hand. She's trying to put the pressure on her. Nice jab.
Nice right hand that time. Nice jab. All she had to do was step forward, and this could be her fight. I'm talking TAMERA Rutledge.
Yep.
Guthridge, that is. Nice overhand left. Guthridge she's still got to stay active. She hasn't won this fight yet. And if she wants it, she's got to take it.
She's got to keep moving forward. She's going back too much.
Down to the last 30.
10 seconds right here.
I tell you what.
This is it right here. This is it.
The cheerleader is coming on. The cheerleader is responding to the cheers.
She
1, 2, 3, punch.
She brought her pom-poms out that time.
Man.
All right, it went 3 rounds. The former cheerleader taking on the new boxer. Let's see what happens here. There's that overhand left. She hit her with 3 straight left hands.
Another one.
A fourth, a fifth. Not a bad combination. She threw about 10 punches, but she hit her 4 times. And they're both a little fatigued. Now Archie that is, looking like she's the winner of this fight because she's over there dancing.
Right.
She's dancing to the music. Look at her. You got Guthridge, who's okay, but Archie is dancing to the music. Look at this. She's happy as I don't know what. And she's got a smile on her face, too. She's got Lorenzo in the corner. Lorenzo's a good trainer.
Ohio and Michigan.
I'm not going to say it. I'm going to leave it up to you two guys. Henry Hughes, who won this fight? Quickly, who won it?
The one who did the dancing after the fight, the blue corner.
Who won the fight?
Blue corner?
Blue corner.
Yeah.
So the
I gave it
blue
the first.
corner is saying,
I gave it the first 2 rounds.
It's another tight fight, I tell you that.
It's enough. Oh, you trying to get yourself out of this one?
Oh, it's a tight fight. It's a tight fight. Definitely a tight fight.
Look at Archie. Look at this. She's having fun. She's dabbing out there. Let's go up to Paul Schill. I am anxious to find out who was the winner of this one.
She definitely closed out the first 2 rounds.
Who do I think won the fight? I'm going to go with the red corner just to be different. Let's go to Paul Schill. Paul, tell us, who won this fight?
And boxing fans, after 3 action-packed rounds, your winner fights out of the blue corner, Archie!
Okay, I'll tell you what. From now on, I'm not going to do anything other than call the action blow by blow. I have retired from being a judge.
I gave her the first 2 rounds.
We'll come back. It is the king and queen of the rings. It is the best in the boxing series number 4. Kings and Queen of the Ring All-Star Championship Boxing on TV 20. We are Cleveland.
We're getting away from the manual way of doing business in the city of Cleveland. We're going to go to curbside recycling, which would actually be better for the city and also for the residents too. The less that we put into the landfill will be more of a financial savings for the city, and also that's less garbage that's going into the landfill. Recycling is easy as 1, 2, 3. You bag them, you put them into the blue container, you roll it to the curb, and the truck will do the rest. We're committed to making Cleveland a cleaner, greener city of choice.
Here's some quick recycling tips from the City of Cleveland Division of Waste Collection. Rinse your plastic bottles. Check for the recycling stamp on the bottom. Rinse green, brown, and clear glass bottles before bagging them. Put the bag recyclables into the City of Cleveland blue recycle cart. Place flattened, unwaxed cardboard boxes, newspaper, and wrapping paper on top of the bag recyclables.
Plus, you can recycle at any of Cleveland's 66 drop-off locations. Call the Division of Waste for the drop-off location near you.
Next match is Terrell Ross taking on David Rodriguez. Now Ross lost to Jose Rodriguez. He's 15-5 as an amateur, over 20 fights. And he says this is like a little payback.
Oh, they fought before?
All right, is the main event. And let's get ready for what they've got for us. And one man who's getting everybody ready is our main event guy. And the one and only Paul Schill is going to come up with who we have in the ring. And I believe it's going to be the David Rodriguez against Terrell Ross. Let's go up to our main event, and let's see how Paul calls this one. Paul Schill, who happens to be the man in charge of everything. Paul Schill.
Introducing our next bout of the evening in the 152-pound division. This is the co-main event of the evening. Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner and representing the MLK Boxing Club. He is from Cleveland. Please welcome Terrell Ross. And his opponent fights out of the blue corner and represents the Rodriguez Boxing Club. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome David Rodriguez.
It's David Rodriguez of the Rodriguez Boxing Gym, Akron, Ohio, Cleveland, Ohio. And when I talked to Terrell Ross, who happens to be in the red corner, I said, who's your favorite fighter? What'd you think? He wasn't saying Floyd Mayweather, which of course is unanimous pick, or Triple G. This 23-year-old reached all the way back. Talked about a southpaw who can make everybody miss. Matter of fact, he's the only southpaw I know go out in the rain and not get wet. Pernell Whitaker.
Sweet Pea. I knew it.
Wow.
I knew it. Sweet Pea. Sweet Pea, bad dude. Bad dude. Virginia.
That's right, Norfolk, Virginia. Terrell Ross, 152-pounder, taking on David Rodriguez. Both fighters came in right on weight. Rodriguez
This one is a little personal.
boxing family who do not play in the ring.